Congratulations on the purchase of your new Miller Electric Dynasty or MaxStar TIG inverter. Get ready to maximize your productivity through advanced wave shaping and pulsing controls. You'll want to have a socket wrench, hammer, snips, and crescent wrench on hand as you unpack and set up your unit. After you remove the carton and plastic, remove the packing list, owner's manual, and box containing the supplied foot pedal, hangers, and hardware from the back of the cart. Remove the lag screws that are attached to the back bottom of the cart for shipping. Now remove the lag screws that hold the wheel blocks in place. Use a hammer to tap the blocks loose and move them out of the way before pulling the cart forward off the pallet. Now let's go through the power source setup. The main power source has 4 wires for any voltage ranging from 208 to 575 single or 3-phase. Have a qualified electrician connect the main power and see the owner's manual for important safety information. The cooler power source plugs into the receptacle at the right top corner of the machine. Next, add low conductivity Miller TIG coolant. The reservoir holds 3.5 gallons. The coolant level should be checked weekly. Top it off with distilled or deionized water if necessary. You'll need to replace the coolant every 12 months. Place the argon gas tank on the back of the cart and securely attach the safety chain. Unscrew and remove the cap. Before you attach the gas valve, make sure the valve is pointed away from your body and open the valve and close it quickly to blow any obstructions out of the valve body. Attach the gas regulator and tighten with a wrench. Attach the gas hose to the gas regulator and tighten with a wrench. Remove the plug from the gas valve on the rear of the power source. Attach the gas hose and tighten with a wrench. Remove the registration tag. Be sure to either fill it in and mail it or register your new machine online. To attach the optional Weldcraft CS310 water-cooled torch, connect the gas hose of the torch into the front of the machine and tighten with a wrench. Plug the torch into the machine and twist to tighten. Now attach the red return and the blue coolant out hose, being sure to finish tightening with the wrench. To attach the work clamp, simply insert the cable and twist. The remote foot control is attached by inserting the connector and tightening by hand. Now let's take a look at the control panel. You can set the polarity by choosing AC or DC. AC polarity is typically used for welding aluminum and similar alloys in the TIG process. DC is used for TIG welding mild steel, stainless steel, copper, titanium, and nickel alloys with the TIG process. Your Dynasty or MaxStar machine allows you to choose from several processes. Select TIG high-frequency impulse if you want a non-contact TIG start. Lift arc is another process that can be used for starting the TIG torch. Touch tungsten to your work and depress your remote control while touching the workpiece. This is typically used in areas where high frequency is not allowed. Select stick for AC or DC stick welding. You can also select your output choice. Remote standard is used when a foot or hand control is used to control the amperage. Remote 2T trigger hold is used when you want to go to your preset amperage. It holds that amperage until you press the trigger again, which turns off the output. Select on when you do not have a remote control. The tungsten or stick electrode is energized for welding. This position is common for stick welding and lift arc on TIG welding. Pulsing applications are generally used for DC TIG welding on thin gauge material to prevent distortion. PPS stands for pulses per second. A high PPS number gives you a smoother ripple effect, narrower bead, and faster travel speeds than a low PPS number. Peak time is the percentage of time you want the cycle to spend at peak amperage. 40 to 50% is a good place to start. Background amperage is the amperage selection between the peak and background pulse. This is the cooling effect of the pulse parameter. 25% is a good starting point. The sequencer control is used in applications where you do not have variable amperage control. The initial amperage allows you to choose the initial amperage at the start of the weld. Initial slope is the time that it takes to get up to your weld amperage. Final slope is the decreasing ramp time coming off your weld amperage. Final amperage is the amperage that you end with. Let's move on to the gas dig menu. Pre-flow controls the amount of time you want your shielding gas to operate before the arc starts. Post-flow is the time you want your shielding gas to run after the arc is stopped to cool the tungsten and shield the weld puddle. Rule of thumb is 1 second per 10 amps. The dig setting, for stick electrodes only, gives a percentage of current that prevents sticking to the workpiece. These AC wave shape controls are dynasty specific for TIG welding. Electrode negative allows us to adjust the electrode negative amps independently from the electrode positive amps. Electrode positive allows us to adjust the electrode positive amps independently from the electrode negative amps. To extend the tungsten life, we recommend a 1 to 3/4 ratio, 100 amps electrode negative and 75 amps electrode positive, and no more than a 2 to 1 ratio, 200 amps electrode negative and 100 amps electrode positive max. Balance controls the amount of oxide cleaning that is present on aluminum material. Achieve more cleaning action with a lower balance setting. To maintain pointed tungsten, a higher balance setting is required. A good starting point is 70 to 75%. AC frequency controls the width of the arc cone. Increasing the AC frequency provides a more focused arc with increased directional control. Decreasing the AC frequency softens the arc and broadens the weld puddle. The starting point is 120 Hz. The memory function allows you to save a total of 36 programs, 9 in DC TIG, 9 in AC TIG, 9 in DC stick, and 9 in AC stick. To use one of these memories, select the number, polarity, and process. One of the advantages of having a memory would be saving a program that would allow you to spot weld as well as one that would allow you to make your final weld. To access the advanced function, press and hold the amperage button while pressing and releasing the gas dig button. The first menu is your start amperage. This is independent in AC TIG and DC TIG. This function allows you to enhance arc starting for large tungsten diameters or extended leads. To change the amperage on the DC start parameter, turn the encoder to increase the amperage. To select the time, press the amperage button. Turn the encoder to change the time. Remember that time is measured in milliseconds. Pressing the amperage button one more time gets you into the polarity section. You can select to start in either electrode negative or electrode positive. The next menu selection is trigger functions. This will allow you to configure your machine to work with a variety of remote controls. See your owner's manual for specific operation. To select different triggering levels, turn your encoder to 2T, 3T, 4T, 4T Mini Logic or 4TL, or 4T Momentary or 4TE. The next menu level is waveform selection. This allows you to select different waveforms while in the AC TIG welding mode. You can use soft, sine wave, triangular, or advanced square wave in any program. Independent amplitude allows for independent electrode positive and negative adjustment, or you can lock them so they're the same. The next option allows you to set the spot time. You can activate the spot on by turning the encoder. This allows you to use the spot timer as a spot timer only, or in conjunction with the sequence controls, which would allow you to use it as an automatic weld. Stick Open Circuit Voltage is your next menu. Your machine comes factory set in low OCV, that is 10 to 15 volts DC. By turning the encoder, you change the open circuit voltage to normal OCV, which is 75 volts DC. The lock function allows you to choose between 4 locked configurations, allowing different levels of interaction with the controls. Level 1 allows the least interaction, and Level 4 allows the most. The next level is meters for voltage and amperage readings. During pulsing conditions, if this is selected and you turn the meters off, you will not be able to view numbers across the meters. Your new Miller machine is designed to maximize your time and effort. Here are just a few examples. Lift arc start. Pulsing. Two-T sequence. And using a remote device. You'll wonder what you ever did without this smart machine.